The timing of the verdict was a bit of a surprise because it was reached just minutes before the jury was supposed to be sent home for the day.
Yeah, and KCCI is breaking down the jury's decision and the former president being found guilty on all counts. Our chief political reporter, Amanda Rooker, is in studio this evening tonight with a Republican and Democratic strategist. Amanda, please help us unpack all of this. There is so much happening here.
There really is. This is such a history is being made before our eyes tonight. I do want to note that this case was brought by the Manhattan District Attorney. That is a locally elected official who does not report to the federal government. Important context there. The indictment was approved by a grand jury of ordinary citizens. Trump was afforded due process rights. He was found guilty by a New York jury of his peers. Now, to break down what this means, unprecedented for American politics, I'm here with Republican strategist David Omen, Democratic strategist Jeff Link. A lot to take in. David, what's your reaction to this?
Well, thanks for having us on what I would say is a sad night. Was this verdict good for Donald Trump? No. Was it good for the Republican Party that wants to talk about the border and wants to talk about a weak economy? No. Was it good for the country? No. I remember Watergate 50 years ago this August. Fortunately, at that time, President Nixon stepped away and spared a full impeachment. You just heard President Trump talk about this being a rigged trial. There'll be a debate about that. Jeff and I were talking a little bit ago. He'll probably raise a lot of money tonight. If you want to talk about politics, which is why we're here, I think it puts a finer point on Haley Republicans and the diminishing number of people who are still political independents to decide where they want to go. It also probably makes the first presidential debate, which I think is 4 weeks from tonight, must-see TV.
All of this is unfolding as we head into a highly, what we expect to be a highly contested presidential election. Historic is a word we have said throughout the caucus cycle, right. and we continue to say. Jeff, the president was campaigning in Philadelphia a few days ago. He's on the campaign trail. How does he deal with this, and how does this impact the Democratic Party?
I think you won't hear much from President Biden on this. He's going to continue to focus on his job. He does not want to get into the middle of this. I think this is certainly uncharted territory for everybody. The only thing we know for sure is that Donald Trump will not be able to vote for himself in November.
There is so much to unpack here. We are going to move on. Our conversation will continue at 6. Thank you so much for both joining us.
You're welcome.
Well, state leaders are sharing their thoughts on the verdict. Iowa's governor is calling the trial a sham. She says, quote, the only verdict that matters is the one at the ballot box come November, where the American people will elect President Trump once again. Now, the sentencing for Donald Trump is set for July 11th, just 4 days before the Republican National Convention in Wisconsin. Now, even though Trump is now a convicted felon, there is a chance he could still vote in this upcoming election. We will continue to keep an eye on this breaking news story throughout the newscast.